Welcome back to the Decent Garage. In today's video, we are back on the ultimate American truck build. Now in the last video, we got the bed on, we got the fenders on, did a bunch of stuff in the engine bay. Today, we're gonna keep working on that, but I'm at the point with the wiring where I need to show you where I'm at with the wiring. So we're gonna head back to the old garage. I'm gonna show you all the wiring we're doing, get you caught up to now, and then we're gonna come back and work on a few things here. This is the American Autowire Highway 22 kit. This is not a kit specific for these trucks, but we're gonna make it work. So the kit comes with a sheet basically to go through and make sure you have everything just in case during packaging and shipping something was lost. So I've done that. We have everything. I'm reading through the instructions. I want to be very thorough on this. They basically package all the circuits into their own packages and then they label them. So for example, this is for the starter, this is bag A. So we start with that. And so you go through and work through each circuit until they're all laid out. Each bag has its portion of the harness, a diagram with instructions, and then any connectors you might need. So it's pretty simple how it's laid out. So what I'm doing is just going through in order and basically laying everything out, not doing any of the connectors yet, just basically getting the wires where I want them to start with, and then we'll go through and do all the connectors and hook everything up. But I think just tackling, getting everything laid out, the wire management will be a good first step. All right, I did some cardboard aided design, and this is what our panel is going to look like in some degree. So this will mount right here. This is our main fuse panel. So we'll have all the wires come in here and neatly have them come right up along the firewall. And then also in this kit, I opted for the power window standalone module as well. So those will go right next to there, and then we'll route the wires up there as well. So that's what it'll look like. Basically what we're gonna do is leave the end of the wire here and run it to wherever it needs to go, and then get everything run, and then we'll loom stuff together that needs to go together. So here's the approach I'm taking, and I think it's working well, so I wanted to share it with you guys. Some of the wire looms come with a plug already on it. Some of them don't. Some are just the full length of wire. So what I've done, if it came with a plug on it, find out where that goes. For example, this goes to the blinker switch in the steering column. I brought that plug there and I kind of left it there and ran the wires from there wherever they needed to go, whether it's back to the fuse panel, into the engine compartment, or somewhere else. Now for the other ones that were just wires and didn't have a plug on it, I started those at the fuse box and ran them from the fuse box to wherever they go. The reason I did this is because then I can trim the extra length off the wires, especially on these ones with plugs, off the end where it's already bare wire. This will make it much cleaner. It'll make it so I don't have to have anything loomed up or bundled up next to the plug. And I think this method is working pretty well so far. Another pro tip for you is get a bunch of zip ties. I've got my pocket full of them, different sizes. What I'm doing is I run a bundle of wire, I zip tie it all together, and if I lay it next to another bundle of wire, I'll zip tie those two major bundles together, and then I'll clip the zip tie that was holding just the smaller bundle together. So you're gonna end up clipping a lot of zip ties, wasting tons of zip ties, but these are like 1 or 2 cents a piece. So go to Harbor Freight, get a whole bag of these, get 2 bags of these. You're gonna be using a ton of them, but it works really well to keep the wires all bundled together, nice and clean. All right, we're making great progress on this wiring harness. So far, it's pretty simple. So what I've done is I've mounted the fuse box to the firewall. I've actually just used some magnetic mounts, and I think they're gonna work good. I was gonna use them temporarily, but I think we're gonna leave it that way permanently. It's stuck on there really well. Then what I did is I ran every circuit to kind of where it needs to go on the truck and just left a loop of wire where that's gonna go. So for example, this is for the radio, so it's gonna go somewhere around there. We've got everything run to our headlight switch, to our steering column for our ignition. We've got a bunch of stuff ran through the firewall up to the core support for our headlights. We've got a loom of stuff that needs to go down the frame rail to the rear of the truck to the tail lights. So far it's been pretty straightforward. Now we need to step back and realize that this is not all the wiring that we have to do on this truck. This is the bulk of it, but we still have our wiring for our electric fuel pump, for our fuel shutoff solenoid, for our exhaust brake, and for our heater core from Vintage Air. So we have a bunch of accessory wiring that we still have to install as well. So we're going to tackle that along the way, but just remember, those are all things that we have to do in addition to this wiring harness. So what I'm going to do is run everything back to the rear of the truck. That way I can have everything back there. I can also install our trailer brake controller at that point as well and run that wiring with that loom all the way to the back. And I need to show you what we're going to do as a bulkhead to go through the firewall, because I'm not just going to leave wires hanging through the firewall like that loosely. I've got a bulkhead connector we're going to use, so I'll show you that as well. Another thing we still have to install, we have our Dakota Digital gauges, and this has its standalone computer controller. So all the sensor wires will just go to this. Now the American Autowire system does have spots for a lot of these sensors, but because we're running the Dakota Digital gauges, we don't even have to go to that. We're going to go straight to the computer for those gauges. Also from Dakota Digital, I got a standalone cruise control system, so we have to wire that in as well. Those shouldn't be too bad. I think we'll tackle that as soon as the bulk of all the wiring harness is done, probably even once we have the dash put in, because running those sensor wires and the couple other wires that needs won't be difficult at all. If you've been following the channel, you know we've moved into a new shop. So we had to move the Ultimate American Truck build to progress more on the wiring. So this kit has been pretty good so far. I mean, I don't know what I'm doing, and if I'm figuring it out, I think anyone could. As you can see, I've got all the different instruction sheets kind of laying out everywhere. And I keep, I'll be on one, do everything, and then I'll go back to another one and I'll find something that I missed, so I have to reroute that wire. But I think we've got pretty much the whole system in there, minus a few things, and I'm at kind of a standstill right now. So what I'm waiting for, we're going to do a bulkhead here. We're obviously not just going to have the wires run right through the firewall and be left like that. So I've got part of the bulkhead that's still on the way. And then I want to use the factory steering wheel, ignition, signal switch, wiper signal, all that. It comes with like a generic ignition switch, but I don't want to use that. So I am going to, this is the original harness, but I don't want to cut it up because it's a really good condition harness. So I ordered, this is the part that goes up the steering column. I ordered this part from Keeper Tuned. He's basically got it cut off right there. And then we're gonna de-pin all these plugs. And this is where it's time consuming, but we'll de-pin all those plugs. I've got the factory service manual, wiring diagrams, and I'm going to basically take the wires from the American Autowire kit, and they're all labeled, and pin them back into the factory plugs so we can plug right into those plugs. And then we can use the factory stuff. So that's just time consuming, but that's a detail that I think is going to set this truck apart. Again, I want this to be very factory, but I want it to all be very well done and brand new wiring. So I didn't want to run some generic cheap looking ignition switch. So hopefully it works. I don't know if what I'm going to do is going to work, but we sure are going to try it. So in the next video, we're going to finish this, obviously do our bulkhead there. We've got our mega fuses there. We're going to do a relay panel for everything that we have that's switched. We got to then put all our plugs on our wires, wire in our headlights and our parking lights and turn signals. We got to run that all the way back and hook up our trailer wiring our 7-pin, which we're gonna have 7-pin not only here on the bumper for a bumper pole, but we're also gonna have a 7-pin here in the bed for our gooseneck. A lot more wiring left to go, but pretty much this American Autowire kit is pretty well in. So, but we'll pick it up in the next wiring video, finish this off, and it should turn out really nice, I'm hoping. So that's where we're at with the wiring. Pretty well together and run, but we need to kind of terminate everything. But before we do that, we're running out of space here in the new shop. Not running out of space, but we need to get organized. I have the new wheels and tires for this truck, and we are gonna throw them on. So we went with some slot mag wheels and some Kenda Klever RTs 33 by 10.5 on 17-inch wheels. So we've got those two there. We've got two over here. I think it'll be nice to get them on. This tire has a slow leak, which is super annoying because when I want to move the truck, I got to get the air compressor, air it back up. So it'll be nice to get these off of here, get our new ones on, and then we can keep working on this, get these out of the way. So this is a perfect time to talk about, I have partnered with Kenda for all of my tire needs, I guess you could say. One of their engineers is a follower of the channel. He loves the build, so he reached out and we got in contact. And we're gonna have Kendas on all the trucks. We're actually doing some testing on some of the Kenda tires for towing. So I've got them on Fat and Sassy, which is a dually, which we're gonna tow with. So they're supposed to be a little more heavy duty. If all goes according to plan, this truck is going to be in SEMA 2025, sponsored by Kenda. So really cool of them to kind of take a leap of faith on a small YouTube channel. I don't know, this is going to be a cool truck in SEMA though, compared to a lot of the stuff that shows up there. So thankful to Kenda, really excited to run Kendas on all the trucks. Just want all my rigs outfitted with Kendas. They've always been a cool looking tire to me. So, and I'll give you feedback as we use them. We'll look at how they wear, how they ride. So far on Fat and Sassy, I'm impressed. There they are, all mounted up, and they look awesome. And I think there's caps for the rear hubs. I'll see if I can find them. Maybe there weren't, but I don't mind looking like that, but I do kind of like the caps on there. So those of you with a keen eye though, you will notice that we have quite the rake on this truck. And by that I mean the rear is way higher than the front. So let me show you why that is, and we are going to fix that. So the Charlie 3-link coilover suspension in the front gives you about 3 inches of lift. Back here in the rear, if you recall, we did a shackle flip kit back there, and then we had Atlas springs, build us some springs for it. Well, Atlas somehow does not have notes that I told them we were going to shackle flip. They thought this was going to be a stock shackle hanger situation. So we've got about 5 or 6 inches extra lift in the rear, and there you can really see it. So we're going to try a few things. I talked to Atlas about it. We're going to try a few things with the springs before we go through the headache of sending them back and stuff. But I also found out, and no one called this out when I installed these springs are on backwards. That shouldn't change much of the lift, but we do have to swap those around. But we're not going to do that right now, because we have our 2-post lift right here. We're gonna wait till that gets installed, and then we will fix the rear springs and everything, get it sitting just right. So as you can see, we are making a lot of progress with the wiring. I'm not a wiring expert, but I'm figuring this out as I go. Hopefully some of these tips I mentioned in this video are helpful. We're gonna be doing a lot more wiring when we're back on this truck, but take a look at this. I am neck deep in installing our new 2-post lift here in the shop. This is going to be a game changer for the projects. Can't wait. So just so you know, we are making a ton of progress. I hope you guys are excited about that. I just can't thank you enough for your support. I hope you're enjoying the videos. We will see you guys in the next one.